Hey yo, what's up, man? It's your boy noluckmacK. I'm in the crib chilling, relaxing. Happy holidays and all that. Merry Christmas to and all that. I'm back with another one, man. We back on our street shit, our gang shit. We watching what's happening in these streets, my nigga. Air to the streets on YouTube. 420 Club, what up? No Luck Mafia, what's up? Super Wario, bro, what's up? You know what I'm saying? You know I gotta like the video. You already know that. Gotta show that love. I ain't even watch it yet, but I'm gonna give him a like anyway. Let's get into this joint. What's this one? Harlem Gang War. We just did Bronx Gang Wars, and now we on Harlem Gang War. The story of Chico Gang. Take down the Wagner Peas. Shout out Wagner Peas, man.
5 members of a trigger-happy East Harlem gang that changed its name, but not its thirst for violence and vengeance, were busted Wednesday in an investigation of 21 shootings that wounded 4 innocent bystanders, authorities said. The bust included 4 members of the Chico gang named in 2 indictments, released later in the day in Manhattan Supreme Court. A 5th Chico was arrested on separate charges. JC Nico Mitchell, 20, and his brother Jameek Mitchell, 19, were arrested in their apartment on Palladino Avenue in the Wagner Houses project early Wednesday after police showed up with a warrant, and their father opened the door. Inside the apartment, police seized a handgun, one of 17 they've confiscated in their probe of the Chico gang. Cops also seized a 30-round ammo magazine, marijuana, and the drug K2. JC
When niggas fuck up, see, this is when I'm like, niggas... The art of organized street crime, gangsters, like that era is gone. Because, like, bro, why would you have any of that in the projects, bro? Why, like, this is why niggas need to take a step back. If they're gonna really do this criminal shit, they gotta get organized. Cause how the fuck are you gonna, bro? Why do you have all this shit in the P's? Just being me, being in New York City, my first mindset will go, don't have nothing in no projects, bro. Don't be associated with any project building. Because, like, as you can see, if you're from New York, they have no problem running down entire project buildings, bro. They coming on every floor, kicking in niggas' door. They ain't do it to 1, they ain't do it to 2, they ain't do it to 3, they ain't do it to 4, they ain't do it to 5. They did it to damn near every project building you could think of in New York City, especially ones that got a name. The cops has run down in that shit before and round niggas up. So I'm like, why in 2021 is niggas still operating out of projects? I don't know. It don't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? New York City not what it used to be. It used to be a lot of abandoned buildings. You know, a lot of spots where you could open up off the radar. But because times has changed, a lot of gentrification, it's a lot of nice buildings everywhere. It's kind of hard. You can't really just get a crib, like just grab a crib like that. You can't really do that. But you could rent a room somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You could rent a room. Rent a room. But shit, some rooms is fucking, you gotta go through the same process of an apartment. Like they do background checks, they do all that. So it's like, bro, I'm just like, whatever you do, don't operate out of the projects, my nigga. It just is not the move. Don't do it. If you peep, you and your team and your mans and y'all in the P's and y'all operating, you gotta get out of this. Shit is not like down south. You could have the trap right there in the hood. No. Don't be in the P's. Whatever you do, don't be in the P's. You better off across the street from the projects than in the projects. Because you already, they kicking in that door, bro. They gonna kick in that door, bro. It's nothing legally, well, shit, it's NYPD.
Was among 13 suspects named in a pair of Manhattan Supreme Court indictments aimed at taking down the Chico gang, said officials. His brother Jameek was arrested on separate charges. 3 other suspects were arrested in relation to the indictment Wednesday included Melvin Bam Mitchell, 20, Dakota Campbell, 19, and a girl, 16, accused of shooting someone in the leg. I'm innocent, Melvin Mitchell said as police led him into a precinct for processing. Cops found a 30-round ammo magazine and heroin in Mitchell's home, said police sources.
Never.
9 other suspects.
All I'm saying is that precinct they going into, I've been into that precinct.
Have been arrested in relation to the indictment and were in custody before Wednesday. The
Cages, like, bro, being arrested, bro, it's not the fucking vibe, son. Like, soon as them handcuffs go on you, or soon as they talking to you, you are no longer in control of your own physical body. You are no longer in control. Unless you take feet, get away, bro, they control what you, where you stand, where you sit, where you spread, where you drop. Yo, like, bro, you being walked into a cage. Like, mentally, that's damaging mentally to know, like, you are handcuffed and being walked into a fucking cage, like, and you can't really do nothing to stop it. It's crazy.
Supreme Court indictment connects the 13 suspects to 21 shootings and 12 shooting victims. Among the 4 people hit by stray bullets in the shootings was a 12-year-old boy shot in the leg in December 2018, said Manhattan DA Cy Vance Jr. During the probe, investigators on
these niggas celebrate your demise, nigga. It's people who, like, the fact that it's people who genuinely, like, dead ass monetarily benefit from your fucking demise. You gotta be smart with how you move on this planet, man. It's people banking on you to exist. They need you. If you don't exist, they don't exist. Their whole mission is to catch you. It's a crazy world, bro.
14 semi-automatic pistols and 3 revolvers.
Like, I would see that and shit, think it's a rapper in there. Nah, this nigga's locked up, jammed up in there. Like, I never knew that.
At least 5 of which the suspects originally bought in Maine, said a statement from Vance's office. The indictment covers crimes between November 2018 and July 2021. The Chico gang is based at the Wagner Houses, a New York City Housing Authority development just south of the E125th Street entrance to the Triborough Bridge. The Chicos were the target of a 2019 takedown in which 12 suspects were linked to 17 shootings as the gang sought revenge for the 2016 murder of 16-year-old Julian Chico Tavares at the Jefferson Houses, also in East Harlem. Tavares' death led the gang to rename itself the Chicos, said police. Previously, the gang was known as 20NT and before that, as Flow Boys. With Tavares' death still unsolved, his surviving fellow gang members continued a campaign of violence against their rivals, most notably against their chief nemesis at the Jefferson Houses, which stretched between 1st and 3rd Avenue just below E115th Street. That rival gang is known as the Jeff Mob, and as ABM, short for All About Money, said police. Detectives believe a Jeff Mob member killed Chico, who was shot at 3rd Avenue near E115th.
Them Jeff P's is wild too, like I said. All these P's is active, my nigga. Like, don't operate out the P's. Cause just you being in the project is easy to pinpoint you, brother. It's easy to pinpoint you. You done used that address before for school, for whatever. Stop thinking you dealing with police from the 1900s. You dealing with 2021 technological geniuses. People go to school for this shit. It's a lot of money into this shit. There's more money into this shit than your team is making. Times has changed, bro.
On Good Friday in 2016 and died 2 days later, on Easter. They've been beefing before the murder, a police source said of the 2 gangs. He gets murdered and that was the boiling point. It's just non-stop. They wouldn't let up. In 2019, Wagner was the only niche complex in the top 5 in each of the 4 violent crime categories: murder, rape, robbery, and assault, according to the post-analysis of the CompStat data. On multiple
Come on, G. Raping people, graping people, come on, G.
occasions, the defendants enlisted 14 and 15-year-olds to carry weapons and commit shootings, who were typically accompanied by older gang members. Some of the defendants discussed alleged criminal activity on social media and, on several
Of course they did. Why wouldn't they?
occasions, defendants also discussed their crimes in calls made from Rikers Correctional Facility. Among the alleged incidents is a midday shooting on April 11, 2017, in which defendants Ashton Berry, aka Ash Guns, Lamar Ware, and Jason Williams approached the Jefferson houses in possession of a .25 caliber semi-automatic pistol. As alleged, Williams fired into a crowd of people with children playing nearby and struck a 22-year-old man in the leg. They want revenge.
Again, like I said, niggas just be shooting. They don't even aim. They don't go to gun ranges to practice. They just grab a gun and go outside and shoot and just be hitting random people. Like, this shit is GTA. Like, that shit is cool. Like, it's crazy.
They're a violent gang, said NYPD Deputy Chief Brian McGee. They do a lot of stuff on social media. They do a lot of stuff on the street. And it's unfortunate, because you look at the Wagner houses, there are so many good people out of the Wagner houses, all housing developments throughout the city. It's a small amount of people doing the crime and violence out there. As good as that may sound, longtime residents of Wagner projects are no strangers to violence in the community. In 2012, they were in Chico Gang. They identified as two loosely organized gangs, 20 Block and Flow Boys. Undercover police officers purchased crack cocaine from various defendants on more than 24 occasions, and other drug sales charged in the indictment were caught on surveillance camera. Dealt crack cocaine on sidewalks, playgrounds, in residential buildings, stairwells, lobbies, and divided their proceeds at the community center. There was literally no way, Mr. Van said, for the residents in Wagner to avoid the drug dealers. This is also the location of the legendary Purple City turf wars, which took place from the late 80s up until the mid-90s. The Black
I know about Purple City.
Controlled the 2nd Avenue side of Wagner on 122nd Street, and the Spanish controlled the first side across the street. Although they coexisted for a while, the Blacks couldn't unite, unlike the Spanish, who would take advantage of this and seize control of the whole housing projects. The Blacks had limited slot time, while the Spanish flooded the projects with pink-top crack. You had to work for them, Black or Spanish, or you could not get money. Purple City was flourishing with Blacks and Spanish united, while the 2nd Avenue side of Wagner was in disarray. The Blacks and Spanish in Wagner would never unite during this time. The brothers became tired of the Spanish dominating their turf and politicked about reclaiming the territory. Bob Lemon, who is allegedly a prominent member and or associate of Boy George's Obsession crew, was able to reunite the brothers. He came with a game plan and had much crack and heroin, that they could take the block back and everyone could eat at the same time. It was said that the drug might have been the most potent form of its time in Harlem and even other places. Al Poe, another known Harlem drug dealer, most notable for killing Rich Porter, played a role in the brothers reclaiming turf. Allegedly, he chased some Pink Top crew members toward the projects, firing several shots at them. This was the first chink in the armor of the First Side crew. There were many shootouts that took place in battle for turf. Eventually, the Blacks would run the Spanish out of the territory. Allegedly, the Harlem-based Obsession crew made up to $400,000 to $500,000 a day. KC, a Purple City member from Puerto Rico, set up shop around Wagner with $3 crack. It was labeled with purple tops. Members of Purple City wore purple everything. Cars with purple lights, jewelry, leather coats, watch bezels, everything purple. They held big dice games, starting bank with 5 figures. Carlton Hines, Rich Porter, Al Poe, Jihadi Green and other players. If you didn't know anyone in Wagner, it was wise not to be there. Purple City allegedly made $14 million a year, some say more. Kenny Hutch, a budding basketball star who played in the New York circuits, was also from Wagner projects. He was considered a smooth ladies' man who made a name for himself on the drug scene. He was mostly a family man, but looked out for the neighborhood. He was shown a lot of love and
he talking to old school Jones, man. I'm about to get up out of here, man. 420 Club, man. Fuck with me. I'm about to get back on my daily shit, man. Right now, I'm just trying to catch up for lost time.